What if I told you that this Instagram reel got 12.8 million views and it was built completely using AI? No ads, no editing, no burnout. Just one automated system powered by n8n. And today's your lucky day because I'm going to give you the full blueprint. Now, what's interesting about this Instagram profile is they only have 35,000 followers, which is not too shabby, right? It's still quite impressive, but look at the views that are generating off those 35,000 followers. This one has 12.8 million views. This one has 17.6, 18.9, and so on. And if I show you the video, I'm actually going to turn the sound off because the music is copyrighted. I don't want it to flag on my video. But if I show you, there's nothing spectacular about this, right? It's literally just a video, right? But it's like a slideshow. There's nothing interesting. It's just a white text or white box with black text on it. A very simple concept, but one that can generate millions of views. If I show you this one just fades in and out. And again, it's the same type of concept, the point of view on the white background here with the black text. Very, very simple, but it's super viral. So I reversed engineered their success and built an automation inside of n8n. What this does is that it will grab video templates that I've generated, and I'll show you, if you stick around, how to create these templates using CapCut. It then randomizes it. So if you've got a list of like 5, 10 different templates, this code node here will just randomize it. So it just saves you from making a decision. The next AI agent here node is going to generate the captions, and I'll show you what they look like. It's then going to generate the descriptions, which is the text that you see inside the white box. It's then going to separate the lines, and you'll see why. It will then generate the video inside of CreatorMate, and then basically saves all the output onto the same Google Sheet. So here's the first video that I generated, all done through AI using n8n. I mean, it's not bad, right? And honestly, these templates took me less than 5 minutes to generate both of these. And if you spend some time, you can make these even more fancier. I'll show you the filters, I'll show you the layout and everything. So this is the IG Reels factory sheet. You can see here that I've got links, and these are links that are generated from Google Drive, and that's where I save the templates. It then creates the captions, so that's from the captions AI agent. This will all run once the automation has finished. And then basically it's just the final videos here. These are the URLs on CreatorMate, and you can actually download these as well, and you can upload these into Instagram Reels, TikTok, or even YouTube Shorts. So to build this automation, you want to start off with a schedule trigger. You can schedule this 2 times a day, 3 times a day. I'll leave that up to you. The next node is going to be a Google Sheets node, and this is a get rows operation because we just want to retrieve the links from Google Sheet. We're not doing anything else. So connect it up to your Google Sheets account, select the correct document. For me, it's the IG Reels factory. It's sheet 1, and that's it. So when you run it, you'll see basically it'll return a bunch of items. Now I've only got 2 links on there, but if you've got more links, you'll see, all these items being returned. Then to kind of save on decision making, I've got a randomized code node here, and all this does, it will just pick a random link from that Google Sheet. That's all it does. And the reason I've done that is because I just don't want to spend any time inside of this automation. I want to automate the entire process. So when you run it, you'll see that we'll just randomly pick one of the links. Once we have the links, we can then create the caption. So the next node is going to be an AI agent. So if you open this up, you'll see that the source of the prompt is defined below, and it's just very simple, write an Instagram caption. And then for the system message, if I open this up, you'll see that it says you are an AI copywriter for Instagram Reels, specializing in short viral captions about AI and automation. I've given it some parameters here, so some guidelines, what its job is. The most important thing is just to keep it under 100 characters. That's just because of the captions limit on Instagram. And then I've added a call to action when possible. The reason I've done that is because the examples that I saw on Instagram Reels, they're basically using these videos, these slideshows to generate leads, right? So you see from the output that you can actually automate the lead generation intake as well. And so the examples I've given it is comment AI, this automation saved me 6 hours a day. Comment AI, stop selling agents, sell this instead. So you can see that once the comments come through and people start commenting AI, that's going to then trigger another automation, and I'll show you how to do that in a future video, which will then basically automatically send them a DM, and that could be a PDF, that can be Tripwire, whatever. You can put whatever you want. You can link to your newsletter. It's entirely up to you. The last thing is keep it short, make it hook, make it shareable. That's the most important thing. So when that runs, you'll see something like this, and this is perfect. This is exactly what I want for the captions. And because you're using an AI agent, you are going to need a language model. So for this, I'm using Google Gemini Pro 2.5, and the reason is it's actually a really good language model, and it's completely free at this moment in time while I'm recording this video. So just connect that up, and you can actually share the connection with the next AI agent node, which is the generate descriptions. So if you click inside of here, the prompt is just going to be write Instagram descriptions. You don't need to make this too complicated, just one line is enough. And then for the system message, this is now going to create the text inside of the white box, right? So you are an AI content generator that writes short, relatable, and witty on-screen text for Instagram Reels. That's basically it. So you need some kind of prompt that's similar to this. So your job is to create one caption in the following format. Now this is important. You definitely want to give it examples, because when I was testing this out, it was actually giving me lots of these. So it was actually basically having a conversation back and forth, like bro, me, bro, me, bro, me. So it'd have like 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines, right? Which is obviously not what I want. I just want one example, which is bro and then me, right? That's the kind of angle, the point of view that I've gone with. And so the guidelines are output only one bro, me pair. Keep it under 90 characters. That's purely because of the amount of space, the padding that I've got inside of Creator Mate. And you'll see that when I show you how to create a template. Make it relatable, funny, or pain-based. Again, you can swap this out for any niche, any industry that you're working in. And by all means, test it, right? Like test different styles, test the point of view example that I showed you with Andrew Tate, and see what works. And then the example I've given it is this here, which is basically what I want. Output text only, one example, no explanation. So when you run that, you will see something like this, which is perfect, right? Now, what you'll notice is that there's a /n, which means it's a new line, right? So this is on line 1, which is the bro conversation, and the me is on line 2. And that's how we want to see it. But the problem here is that this is all outputted as one string, right? You can see there's only one item, it's one string, which is why the next node is a code node, because I need to separate the lines, right? So all I'm doing is I'm separating this output, which is one item, is now 2 items. It's now a string called bro and a string called me. And all I've done is just separate the 2. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's just easier to manipulate inside of Creator Mate. When you see the timeline and you see how it works through the API, it'll make more sense to you. And once we have that, then we can generate the video. So this is now a HTTP request node. The method is post. This is the base URL. So this is what it tells us on the Creator Mate API documentation. That's where I found this, right? And the endpoint is renders. And so I've created a credential type, which is generic. It's using the header auth, and it's called Creator Mate. And I'll show you how to do that. All you need to do is you need to get the API key. So call it whatever you want. I've just called it Creator Mate. The name is authorization. Again, this is what they've told us in their API documentation. I'm not making this up. And then for the value, you just need bearer, space, and then API. And then the API key is your API key. And I'll show you how to get that once I move into Creator Mate. So the reason I've done it as a generic credential type is that I don't have to keep, typing it out. I don't have to keep adding the API key and, checking the headers here, because I have to keep doing that if I if I don't save it. And then because we're sending a payload back through the API, we're going to toggle on send body. It's going to be JSON because we're sending a JSON payload. And this is the code for the payload. And again, this is what they tell us in their API documentation, right? The only thing that you need is the video source. So that comes from the randomize link. So if you go back to the randomize node here, you just grab this, right? This is the video that I've created. So paste that over here. And then for text 1, it's just going to be a bro, right? So from separate lines, which is the previous node, that's going to be bro. So just drag and drop that over here. And then for the second text, that's just going to be me. So you can see why I've had to separate it out, right? And the last thing you need is the template ID, which is this one here. So let me dive into Creator Mate and show you how that works. So this is Creator Mate. The first thing you want to do is you want to get the API key. So click on these 3 dots here, go to project settings, and then just click on where it says click to reveal. That's your API key. That's the first thing. The next thing you want to do is you want to set up a new template. So click on where it says new here, and then you want to go to the bottom here, which says start from scratch. And then you want to select the 9:16 vertical. This is the Reels for Instagram or TikTok or YouTube Shorts dimensions. Okay. And then once you have it created, you'll end up with something like this. Now, to build this timeline, so we have text 1, text 2, and then the video elements, right? So this is what a timeline will look like. And for this is what the code is, okay? So I'll show you how you can get this code at the end of the video, so stick around for that. But this is basically JSON, very basic JSON. It's just a layout. It's just telling Creator Mate where I want the spacing to be, right? Where do I want text 1? Where do I want text 2? The output format is going to be MP4 because that's what I want it to be. These are the dimensions and so on and so forth. The last thing you need is the template ID. So to get that, you just head over to where it says use template, go to API integration, and it's just this value here, right? So copy this, go back into your N10 profile, and then just paste it here. You know it's worked because it's green. That means it's mapped correctly, but you could see the output here on the result window. And then when you run it, you'll see something like planned or running as a status. It will give you the ID, it will give you the URL. So this is where it's saved on Creator Mate's cloud servers. And it's got a bunch of different other things here as well, right? So it's got the name of my template, which is IG Reels Factory, the template ID, which is another place you can get this from after the automation is run. And it'll tell you what the video source is, text 1 and text 2. Once the video is complete, we can then add the last node, which is an update sheet for Google Sheets. All we're doing here is update row. It's the same document, it's the same sheet, and we're going to map the columns manually. We're going to match it for the link because the link is already in there, so we can reference that. And then you just want to grab the link, right? So just go over to the grab video node and just grab this and move it over here to match the link, okay? Because we are matching it with a link, so you need that in there, okay? Then all we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the captions. So we have that from the generate captions AI agent node. So just grab this, paste it over here, move over there. And the last thing we want is the final video. So if you go back up to the generate video node, you've got it here. This is the URL, right? So you can actually run this directly through a browser, or you can download this from this location. When you run it, you'll know that it's worked because you've got the output. But more importantly, if you go into the Google Sheet, you'll see that captions and the final video links have been added to the sheet. Now, to create the initial video templates, you're gonna need CapCut and a bit of patience, right? So these videos here, I've actually downloaded them from the internet, and you can get over to pexels.com and type in any type of video that you want. These are all free, royalty free, and you can use them in your YouTube videos. So find the content that you're looking for. So I've gone for a shock look face for both of these guys, and then I've added the automation that I built in this video. I've taken a screenshot of that. Now if you want to add the fade, all you need to do is click on this video here and then go to video on the left hand side, go down to blend, and you just put in a keystone here. So you can see the first one here, just turn the opacity down, and then when you turn it back up again, you just go to another point and then you just turn the opacity up, as you can see here. So this is where it'll come down, this is where it'll go up. But you can see on the right hand side, it's got that fade, which is similar to the example that I showed you at the start of the video. And then you want to add some music. I've gone for royalty free music. I think they are using music with royalties on Instagram because it is licensed on Instagram. So go ahead and use something that works, or use the same video as the guys on Instagram or TikTok are using. For the image, I've added a filter. So if you click on the image itself, you can see that I've got a magic filter on here just to give it kind of some bang, to give it more engagement and grab attention. The way to do that is click on the image itself, go to animation, and they've got a bunch of filters here, right? So just test all these out. I think I use this one here, which is just explosion here, but they've got a bunch of really cool ones. You can zoom in and out, you can slide up, and yeah, there's a ton of these inside of here worth testing. When you're happy with the output, just click on export here and then export it as an MP4 file. Once you have the files, go to Google Drive. You can sign up for a free account. They give you 15 gig of data. You just want to upload it inside of a folder. So I've created a folder called IG Reels Factory, and you can see that I've created Create Template Template 1, Create Template 2, which is what I showed you at the start of the video. Save it inside of here. There's just one thing that you need to do. So click on these three dots here, go to where it says share, click on share, and then you need to make it publicly available, right? So you need to make sure that the general access is anybody with a link, because by default it will be restricted. You need to make sure both of these are set to viewer, because otherwise the automation will break, because NA10 will not be able to read these links on the Google Sheet. And so the point is that these links inside of Google Sheets is viewable, right? We can use it in the automation. And that's pretty much it. That's the automation in a nutshell. You can actually, automate the uploading of the content onto Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube by using a tool called Blutato. It is a paid app, but it's pretty good, and it will automate all your content uploading. I have actually created a video on that, so check out my channel for more details. And if you enjoyed this video, consider signing up to my private AI community, which is the Automation Kings. I've got a ton of content in here that can show you how you can make money with AI. So I've actually built an AI agency. I did that in 30 days, but I'll show you how to do that in 16 days. I can show you how you can use end-to-end and create SaaS tools, and these are much easier to sell because they look really good. And I've got a bunch of other stuff inside of here as well. Micro apps, scrapers. This scraper helped me land a $2,000 real estate client. I've also got a classroom here, so I've got a course on how to launch your AI agency in 16 days. I've also got AI automations and blueprints. So everything I talk about on this channel, you can download inside of the AI automations. It's got the JSON file, which is what you upload inside of NA10. It's got the video tutorial, and it's got all the supporting materials like Google Sheets and anything else. So the link for that is below. Click in the description and sign up today. I'll see you on the inside, but before you go, smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. Leave your comments below, because I'm always interested in what you guys think. All feedback is great feedback, so if you like it, if you don't like it, just leave it below and I'll respond to every single one of you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, turn the notifications on, and I'll see you when the next video drops.